there's something also about our democracy that played out today in Lagos. So, in the House of Assembly today, the new Speaker, Mojisola Meranda, took over the office of the Speaker. It's interesting that Mr. Mudashiru Obasa was absent from plenary, despite insisting that he remained the Speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly following his impeachment. Of course, you know, China Television had reported that the Assembly instructed its officials to henceforth present valid identity cards to access the premises, signaling tightened security at the complex. There was also a heavy presence of police officers around the Assembly premises earlier today as Ms. Miranda officially assumed office as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Today's plenary is the third session presided over by Ms. Miranda since Obasa's removal, with the former Speaker absent at the last two sittings at plenary. The rest of the lawmakers, 39 in number, including the current Speaker, Mojisola Meranda, except Obasa, were seen gathering within the premises of the Assembly for a group photograph. Some of them in solidarity, saying that they are in support of Ms. Miranda. Of course, we'll discuss our democracy today. I have the Executive Director of PICOAC and a policy, governance, and election advocate, Mr. Ezewanwagu, is live for us here in our Lagos, in our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Nwagu, for joining us tonight on the program.
Thank you for taking me to Lagos.
And of course, one person that when you talk about Lagos, APC politics and politics generally in Lagos, is someone that I consult and to hear him as either on camera or off the camera is what do you call them? Is a veteran like that, politically speaking. Fuadoki is an APC chieftain who is live for us again. It's interesting I'm able to drag you forcefully against your will tonight because we're very reluctant speaking about this matter. You spoke about this when it broke last week, but because we are virtually speaking with you and the fact that technology sometimes could fail you at the last minute. So let me quickly, let's have this conversation about Lagos Assembly and what played out today. I think that is a forgone matter, except politically upturned. Whatever happened with the removal of Obasa in the eye of the law, a lawyer on the program yesterday said it is established that whatever those lawmakers did was valid in law. So I'm not going to take you back to impeachment or removal of Obasa. But what happened today, first and foremost, we saw heavy presence of security at the Lagos Assembly. Are you worried about that scenario? Ms. Miranda had walked into the office of the Speaker with heavy prayers. I don't know why she had to do those heavy prayers today to get on that seat. But for you, as a chieftain of the APC, as a Lagosian, how does this come to you? What is the significance of today's event in Lagos?
Good evening, Shehu, and good evening, viewers. I want to reiterate what I said off camera again, that though I am very reluctant to speak on topical issues these days for reasons that are so obvious. But again, for you, Shehu, wanting me to talk on topical issue should be assumed. Having said that, I would also want to start with a street cliche, which simply says the issue of the erstwhile Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, it's a matter Lagosians will say, OT law. So don't let us go back there. It is, past, events, and let us look forward. The events of this morning, again, I, want to correct you that the Right Honorable Speaker, Lasbat Mojisola Meranda, is just moving into the Speaker's office. No, she is the Speaker. What she did is what would be expected of any decent person. The erstwhile Speaker still has some personal effects in his old office. Hence the reason why the Right Honorable Speaker did not move into the office of the Speaker. And I think with the events of last weekend, where it was agreed that the erstwhile Speaker be allowed to go and take his personal things, not just in the former office, but also at the Speaker's Lodge, where unfortunately, the event was turned into a shameless and very shameful jamboree. It is unfortunate that Lagos is being dragged into this mess. But you are also part of it, Shehu, and other media houses, where you want to continue to either celebrate or give wrong credence to inanities. The Speaker going into the new office, moving from our old office as Deputy Speaker and into the office of the Speaker, it's just the right thing. Now you see our colleagues also going, and what you see is like, seeking the face of God, like the Bible will say, that, raise up your heads unto the hills to see and seek, favors, of God. And that is what they simply did. You want to call it, worshiping songs or whatever you want to call. But I think with God, you get you get things done. And all they have asked is for God to help, preserve, grant the new Speaker the courage and the serenity to also decipher, and the wisdom and knowledge to navigate the ship of state. And I think it is normal. And that is the way I will expect to see. Putting God first, I think it's normal.
All right. Let me quickly. And I know that you are a straight shooter. You say it where it is. Whatever that is not true, you say. And, well, like I asked you the last time, I have my ears to the ground. And that those who say to me within the rank, within Lagos APC, that President Bola Tinubu wasn't carried along in the removal of Mr. Obasa. And the leader of Lagos APC, who is the president, is asking, who is the Dimka? And is saying, also and asking those who have told me, that the man is furious, that how would you take that kind of decision without ease by whatever he has done, although he's opposed to some of those things that he said in December when he had a meeting with the GAC, and the GAC are now divided in Lagos. The fact that that decision took place without President Bola Tinubu's political awareness and a go from him, what is the implication of that?
Again, Shehu, and please get this very correctly, and I don't mince words. What has played out in Lagos, it's very clear that there is a party organization, that there is a party with convention. And conventions are unwritten rules or unwritten laws. Now we have various layers of control, of checks and balances in Lagos politics. And what has played out is a very clear, testament to what politics should be. But again, I don't want us to go back. Please, let's look at topical issues that have happened today. Let's look at issues that will help us. Whatever that has gone past, let us keep it at that. Let us learn a few lessons from what happened. For those that are yet to see that in politics, there is hierarchy, there is control, there is checks and balances, the event of last week, has clearly shown to all of us that, like we say, tá a bá mọ̀ láàmú, tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe kó má bàa bàjẹ́ láà ṣe ṣe, kì í ṣe ta ilé ṣe, kì í ṣe tẹrù, kì í ṣe tójó. The leader of the party, not just in Lagos, but the APC and also the president of the country, has made it very clear that there is those that are in control in Lagos. He used to be chairman of that council, which is the Governance Advisory Council, which is currently being led by my father, Omoba Tajuddin Oluyole Olusi. And I think they are doing what is expected of them. You recall years back, I was the one at the forefront of challenging and attacking some of their inactions or action. And when they do the right thing, let's all come out to say, you know what, leaders and elders of the party, on this call, you have done very well. And I think that is what should be the issue, not inanities, as I said earlier.
Let's look at it this way. On Saturday, Mr. Obasa came and says that whatever, he claims that he still remains speaker, and whatever that's happened is unconstitutional and unlawful. And you see on the very first day of the week, you see that Mr. Miranda is making moves. There are pictures showing solidarity to Mr. Miranda. And I do know there are a lot of people who are saying, I mean, in fact, the lawmakers, I can confirm, most of them were in Abuja, and there are those who have confirmed that they met with the president and they had political meetings, whichever time of the day I may not be able to confirm. But there are those, and you will find out that there is a division within the GAC. And it's a fact that these politics affect governance. But going forward, Mr. Oki, how do you think and hope these going forward will affect governance, and how perhaps Mr. Sanwo-Olu can have a balance and a working relationship with the legislature? The underpinnings of this are far-reaching, and you know it, Mr. Oki.
Oh, very well. Let's start by looking at this issue. And if you recall our discussion last Monday, I said the change of guard was late in coming. The change of guard ought to have happened about 15 months ago. But events of the last 3 months facilitated the need for a change of guard. With that in mind, one will expect that the new leadership of the House will synergistically collaborate with the executive arm. So because we've had seamless change of guard, and a lot of people have alluded so many things to it. It's a coup. It's not a coup. It is this, it is that. The most important issue therein is that it was a seamless exercise, which again speaks to just one thing. There will be fresh breath of air, which will ensure a symbiotic relationship with the executive. I'm looking forward to seeing good things, coming around. I'm looking forward to seeing them, collaborating very well in making good laws for the executive to implement, and good service delivery for the benefits of the people of Lagos.
Mr. Oki,
and that is what I believe will happen.
Let me ask you, Mr. Obasa made reference to the speakers in the past, Honorable Pelumi, forgotten the former speaker also that was removed. He made references to them and said, look, they were on seat when they were removed. But going forward, and I imagine how Mr. Obasa will spend the next 2 years representing the people who elected him into office as a floor member, as just an ordinary member of the House, for someone who's enjoyed the best part or the most part of his being a lawmaker in Lagos as the speaker, as the #1 lawmaker in Lagos. So if you were him, what would you do going forward? How would you deal with this situation? It's a tough one. He says he was not around. It sounded like a coup. How do you think Mr. Obasa should deal with these aftermath?
Recall his allusions. He alluded to 3 statements. The first statement was that he was elected by the people in Agege State Constituency 1 as their representative in the Lagos Parliament. He alluded to another fact, that he was not elected as speaker by the sovereignty of people from Agege Constituency 1, that he was elected as their representative, and that speakers come and go. He alluded to another fact, that there's no big deal in being a speaker. After all, it's been elected back to back from 2003. And prior to that, he was also a legislator at the local government level. So there should be no shame, nothing other than for him to go back to the house, continue his work as a legislator. The other side to that is for him to say, I've had enough and I'm training the heart. Let somebody else come to take over from me. Other than that, he should just continue, with his basic responsibility, participating in making good laws for the good people of Lagos. So how will he take it? Like any other human being. It's a comes. It comes and it is gone, Otilo, and it just keep going. Do what you are elected to do, represent the good people by participating in legislative matters and affairs. That's what I expect of him.
All right, Mr. Oki, on a final note, I understand that the GAC members are meeting tomorrow. I'm not sure whether the president is going to join them in meeting virtually, or they are going to bring the meeting to Abuja, whether even the governor, Sanwo-Olu, because he's going to be there. But there are political heavyweights in Lagos that are saying that there are also engagement between Governor Sanwo-Olu and President Bola Tinubu on what happened last week. Whatever that import is, all of these politicking behind the scene may not be what is being reported, but these are conversation and this is information that I gather for those who are in the know. On a final note, the GAC are meeting, divided though about this matter. And the last time there is a division. Senator Adefuye and Senator Banikoro, you saw their statement. They disagree.
Someone, you see, it's about individual positions and understanding. And the good thing is the two of them are, former senators. Now, it is their understanding, individual understanding of the law, of parliamentary conventions, of parliamentary procedures. Senator Adefuye, in his wisdom and understanding, believes they did not do the right thing. Senator Banikoro came out to say it is unfortunate that for a former senator to have read Section 92(2) sub C of the Constitution the way he read it. Other than that, there's no division. And if 2 out of about 22 people have different interpretation, of an issue, should not be taken as having a division in that council. No, not at all. Secondly, tomorrow's meeting is a routine meeting which should not have anything attached or ascribed to it. Whether the president will be part of the meeting or the governor is not and should not be an issue. After all, there are other members of the committee, either known or known, who may or may not be there. We have His Excellency, Mr. Abatunde Raji Fashola. He is also a member of the GAC. We have others. Are we going to say, will they all be at the meeting tomorrow? Will they not be at the meeting tomorrow? And what will be the agenda of the meeting? So all of these things are innuendos. And let's look at what tomorrow will bring.
All right.
We can then take it from there.
Efo, Fuadoki, Lagos
Yes.
Chieftain, thank you so much for your magnanimity and allowing me always, against your will, force you to talk about things that you don't want to talk about. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure always. My brother, my pleasure always.
Babatunde Fashola has a high regard and respect for you. He says you're perhaps one of the greatest political strategies we have in this country. Thank you so much.
No, it's only saying the obvious. I earned it.
Thank you so much indeed, Efo, for your time tonight.
Field.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother. It's
Thank
my
you so
pleasure always.